Jump on over. Hello! Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all today? I'm cold. that was very harmonic. I didn't mean for it to be, but I am cold though. So I'm going to put on the dressing gown. Yes, the dressing gown is back, bitches! It's back. It went away for a while. I don't know if I've worn it over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, it did go away for a while. It went away while the heat wave was a thing over here, and then, well, now it's cold because it's winter. That's right. Also, I'm wearing Chewbacca shirt. Hello. It's Force Awakens shirt for when that film came out. You know, back when having new Star Wars stuff was, you know, newsworthy, and there wasn't new Star Wars stuff every single week. I'm not complaining. mind, before anyone starts to say, alright, I don't like Star Wars. I do like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I'm one of the few people who thinks that, in all honesty, since the prequels came out, the only bad bit of Star Wars content that's been released that I've seen is Episode 9. I am the guy who likes Episode 8. I love Episode 8. It's maybe my third favourite Star Wars film. It's definitely my third favourite Star Wars film of the main, 9. It's only behind Episodes 4 and 5 for me, which I go back and forth on. Yeah, I'm that guy. Here's the thing. Episode 9 is a bad film. Like, Episode 9 is a terrible film. It's still better than the prequels. Like, the prequels are god-awful. I don't understand why all of a sudden it's, become a hot take to say that the prequels are shit. Because they are. Oh no, I know why. It's because people think the prequels are good because of Clone Wars. Because people were like, that, and also, they were children when the prequels come out. But that argument doesn't hold water. Because you know who was a child when the prequels came out? This guy. I liked the prequels when I was a kid, and then as I got older and actually learned how filmmaking works, I was like, oh no, these are terrible. Just, wow. Only good things about the prequels are Ewan McGregor and Ian McDiarmid. And to an extent, well, or even Samuel L. Jackson. It's cool that we got Samuel L. Jackson in a Star Wars film, but, you know, they made Samuel L. Jackson boring. One of the most charismatic actors who's ever lived. Not even alive today. Like, you're not even like talking just actors who are currently alive. Just actors ever. And they made him boring. And look, I'm sorry, but everyone's like, oh, my favorite character in Star Wars is Plo Koon or Ki-Adi-Mundi or whoever. Fuck off. No, they're not. No, they're not. Your favourite character is... No one's favourite character in Star Wars is fucking Plo Koon. I say that as someone who's watched and loves Clone Wars and has read most of the books as well, by the way. But, no one's favourite character is, like, any member of the Jedi Council except for maybe Yoda and Mace Windu. And I guess you can make an argument for Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan is technically a member of the Council. Even if, you know, his extent to being on the Council in the films extends to him being sat in the Council chamber when Anakin is like, oh, I want to be on the Council. Yeah. Oh, they won't let me be a Jedi Master. They said I'm not allowed to be on the Council because I'm kind of a dick. But so I'm gonna go and kill them all. My wife is my pregnant wife. I had a vision that my pregnant wife will die in childbirth, so I guess I better decapitate these children now. All throughout these films, people talk about me like I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest person. I'm lovely. I'm nice. Oh no, I'm actually kind of a psychotic dickhead. Whereas if you watch Clone Wars, then you actually see Anakin as an actual likable character. Anakin in the films is a horrible, horrible character. He's not likable at all. Just like, yeah, I can buy that this guy would fucking decapitate children. Because he's this fucking psychopath. Also, he's very creepy in episode 2. Very creepy in episode 2, like... I get he's not used to talking to girls and stuff, and that's the excuse that the fucking fanboys give for why the romantic dialogue in episode 2 is so fucking dreadful. But... Hey... Because here's the thing people need to remember. George Lucas is a very, very, very good ideas man. But most of the films that people actually remember from George Lucas and remember being actually good were not directed by him. Most of them were directed by Spielberg. He directed one of the original trilogy, which was episode 4, and even then he had help on it. And also, episode 4 was a fucking dreadful film until it got edited. And it shows because he wouldn't leave them alone. And when he sold the rights to Disney, it was like, oh yes, you have the rights, but not to the original version. No, you will never release the original version. It's like, why? Like, I'd much rather have the original version on Blu-ray. Like, it's a way to print money. If they release like a fully remastered version of the original trilogy on Blu-ray, none of the special features crap or any of that, just the original version of the original trilogy, and hell, I include like a second disc or whatever for each film where it's like, oh, this is the special edition version, this is the special Blu-ray McClunky version on disc 2, and that disc can be a fucking frisbee. But because, you know, always need a new frisbee. That if they just come out with, I know they can't, Disney cannot do this because they don't have the rights to do it. But if they could, it would print money. Like, a Blu-ray version of the original trilogy. The original version of the original trilogy on Blu-ray. Print money. Just print it. Because we all know how much Disney likes money. I'm not sure where the fuck I'm supposed to go. I feel like I'm supposed to go through Mount Colts, come out the other side. Pretty sure I'm right in thinking that. Yeah, I get that they can't. I get that they can't, and I understand why. Because they won't do it because it would confuse modern audiences. Oh, they would. Oh, they would. Let's be honest. If Disney could, they would. But they can't. Because when George Lucas sold them the rights to it, he sold them the rights to the movies as they existed when he sold them. Like the most up-to-date version of them that he had, which was the McClunky version. McClunky. Jabba being just a dude in the original would throw people off. He wasn't in the original. Wasn't in the original. That was a deleted scene. Do you know, it was deleted because they had that scene, and then they worked out. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. It was a deleted scene. It was a deleted scene. The original version, it's just the scene with Greedo. You have the scene with Greedo, and then they were going to do the scene with Jabba where it was just some dude. But then they were like, oh, this scene is completely pointless because the scene with Greedo in the bar literally gives us all this information, so we do not need this scene with Jabba. So they cut it because they were like, oh well, which is cooler, having Han just talk to this random guy, or have him just fucking shoot Greedo in the face. We'll go with the more interesting one. It's more character defining. I'd also like take out all of the fucking. I only ever saw the special edition on VHS where they talked about the changes, and that was one of them. That was years ago. Okay, Okay, yeah, I have the original versions on VHS because I acquired them through 100% legal means. I mean, technically I did. Most of them I did. I stole episode 4 from my primary school. Because I borrowed it from the primary school. And then they just never chased me up on it. So I was like, oh, I guess this is mine now. Because I was 6 and that's how your brain works when you're 6. And then I got episode 5 and 6 at a car boot sale. Acquired them via legal means, borrowed but never gave back. Exactly. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. Exactly. That's legal. That's legal. We all did it. We all did it as children. Let's be honest. And then, yeah, my copies of my VHS copies of episodes 1, 2, and 3 were just recorded off the TV when they were on at some point. I mean, hey, if they don't ask for it back, it's technically yours now. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if I still have them. Hope I do. I haven't come across them in any other boxes, but there's still boxes that I still need to unpack. Mainly my sister's stuff, because I need to look through some of that stuff. So some of the stuff that she decided that she didn't want, I need to look through it and see if there's anything worth keeping or selling on, or just being like, well, it's mine now. She's given me permission to, so I mean, in all honesty, they probably are in there. I don't think I got rid of them. Hope I didn't get rid of them. Although I might have. I very well might have got rid of them. Because I may have got rid of them after I got my special editions as a kid on DVD. I got the special edition trilogy. You know, the DVD box set, the old silver box set. Again, I don't even think I have them anymore. I might have got rid of them when I got my Blu-rays. I've had a lot of copies of Final Fantasy, of Star Wars, the Star Wars saga. But yeah, not counting Rogue One and Solo, Episode 8 is the third best Star Wars film. Also, this is relevant to Final Fantasy, because this, you know, this game brought in Biggs and Wedge into the Final Fantasy franchise. Saberwolf Gaming, hello, welcome. How are you today? How are you doing today? What is up? Nothing much. We're just chatting Star Wars while playing the greatest RPG ever made. Yeah, as I said at the beginning, the only reason why people are like, oh, the prequels are good, is either they grew up with them, which I did, or they have no taste, or they just say it to be contrarian, or Clone Wars. Because that is the only redeeming thing about episodes 1, 2, and 3, Clone Wars. Ever tried to randomize a Final Fantasy 6 Worlds Collide? No! No, I have not. I did not even know that was a thing! How would that work? Because Final Fantasy 6 is very heavily narrative. I've done... I mean, on stream, I've only done Pokemon randomizers for Nuzlocke and the like, and I've tried randomizer of the first Legend of Zelda, but I didn't do that on stream because that was before I was streaming. I might do that at some point in the future. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that for one of my one-off streams. A community manager for the community. Check it out. It's really fun. I will do so. Does it work on the Pixel Remaster? Or is it just emulated version? I'm assuming just emulated version. Though I imagine that it would be basically the same to implement it into the Pixel Remaster. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how modding works. I've never done it. Worlds Collide is on the emulator, but there is one that works for Pixel Remaster. Okay. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Does it have to be specific does it have to be a specific version? Or I mean, it makes no real difference to me because I have... Ah, nice try, Twitch! Sorry, I've streamed games through emulators before. Oh, the SNES version. Okay. Final Fantasy 3 USA version 1. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the SNES version sort of wouldn't work on the Game Boy version. I think I have an SNES emulator. Yes. Maybe. Pretty sure I have an SNES emulator on here. If not, it's not particularly difficult to find one. That could be a fun thing to do in the future. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it for a while after I finished Final Fantasy 6. Because not counting the continuing adventures on Final Fantasy 14, I have over 8 more Final Fantasy games to go through. That's not even counting spin-offs and sequels and shit. That's even skipping Final Fantasy 11, which I am at the moment doing. I might go back to Final Fantasy 11 in the future. Maybe. I don't know, but doing one MMO at the moment is enough for me with Final Fantasy 14. And there's other MMOs I also want to play on stream. Like Star Wars Galaxies, which I found out that has fucking community run servers now. And you can download it for free. Which, my god, that made me happy when I found that out. Because that was... Hello. Welcome. Need anything? What have you got? I will take your Phoenix Stones. 11 doesn't count. It's its own thing, like Dissidia Opera Omnia. I mean, I've seen enough to say that... Oh. You're the clockmaker! I've been waiting ages. How did you know? No. Not the clockmaker. There she is, hanging up on that wall over there. Ain't been ticking for a year now. Or was it 5 years? Shucks, maybe it's been 10. I don't remember. Okay. Ow. That actually damaged me. No. But there's no clock. Just there's some flowers and what looks like bread. But there's no clock. You lie, old man. Don't lie. It's rude. But yeah, I've seen enough stuff for 11 to say with confidence that yes, they are right in saying that it is, you know, a proper Final Fantasy game. It's like 14. Like 14 has very quickly over the last... When did I start playing Final Fantasy 14 again? Over the last 2 years, I think it's been since I started playing Final Fantasy 14. It's however long I've been streaming for. I do. It's become. If it's not overtaken Final Fantasy 6 as my favourite Final Fantasy game, it's up there. It's very high up there. Because it is very good. Very good indeed. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, I need to remember I have access to the most powerful thing in the game. I have access to the drill. Hello. Sorry is off limits. Oh yeah, because you killed everyone, didn't you? Ugh. Hey, miasma. Miasma. Miasmia. Miasmia. Yes. Oh, it's about to play an ad, apparently. Oh, an ad is playing now. Okay. Well, I guess this is the subscriber only part of the stream. How y'all doing? I'm assuming that it's not playing for subscribers. It's not playing for me on my window. So I'm assuming that's the case. I'm assuming so. I really should just tell Twitch to go away with that whole auto ad thing. I guess I ever go through Phantom Forest. It's been so long since I played Final Fantasy VI. I don't remember all the little niggly bits in between the big events. I remember the big events. Sometimes I get confused as to how exactly to get there. It's just... Especially early stuff. But yeah, as the same, has been the same with every Final Fantasy game we've done. There's always been that moment of like, where the fuck do I go? Oh wait, she went west, didn't she? I also don't currently have an airship. I have no way of getting back quickly. I have to walk all the way back. I was going on the assumption I am right in thinking that she went the opposite direction. Pretty sure she did. Yes! Let's go back. This may have been a wasted half hour, guys. Yay! We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay! I should also probably give Cyan the opportunity to get some levels. Sweet! It's just a lone house. Oh yeah, that's the old man. Fuck you, old man. Maybe I do need to fix his clock. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been too long. But how do I fix his clock? It's a mystery. A mysterious mystery. Well, at least we get to listen. Fuck off. Auto crossbow! Hooray! Fuck you! Strange bug creature. Hey, there's gotta be a way. There has to be a way back. What if I want to change my party? I mean, I know there's a way back, actually. Because there was the boat on the other side of the Phantom Forest. Enemies! Ah, you fool! You've just sealed your own death warrant. Oh, you're dead anyway. Yay! Because auto crossbow is broken as fuck. And we love it for that very reason. Get him. Shoot that ghost. Hooray! Speaking of shooting ghosts, does anyone remember the PlayStation 2 game? It might have also been on GameCube, I don't know. I had it on PS2. Called Ghost Hunter. Because I thought that when it came out, it was like the BBC show, Ghost Hunter. Again, if anyone remembers that, great show. Great show. But it's not. It's not like that at all. It's weird. It's very weird. It's kind of old. It's kind of very old. But yeah, I recently downloaded a ROM of it. I might maybe do something with it on stream at some point in the future. But speaking of PS1 games that are absolute fucking classics that I'm going to do on stream. First of all, Final Fantasy Tactics and Vagrant Story, because Final Fantasy game. Never finished Vagrant Story. I'm looking forward to getting to Vagrant Story and actually, you know, finishing it for the first time. I remember it being really, really weird and not fully understanding how it was meant to work. But now I am older. Now I am not a child. Because I was a stupid child. And now I am not a child. So I think that I could work out how Vagrant Story is actually supposed to work. You never know. You never know. Well, I mean, you guys will know at some point in the future. When I do Vagrant Story, I don't know when that'll be. Hello. I can send letters and packages to any corner of the world for you. Let me know if you need my services. Okay. Interesting. The entrance to the Serpent Trench lies within Crescent Mountain, near the southern tip of the continent. Yes, it does. That's how I made my way home. But yeah, so, but in addition, with the PS1 games, I'm going to do Discworld at some point. I'm a soldier from Miranda. When our town fell to the Empire, I was forced to join the Imperial Army. I tried to flee rather than help them attack Doma, but they came after me. I barely escaped alive. Now I can't even move. I'll never see Lolo again. There's a letter on the desk. Would you be kind enough to bring it to me? Okay. It's mine now. There are even more Imperial soldiers walking the streets of Miranda these days. Things are peaceful otherwise. The flowers in the garden will soon bloom and announce the arrival of spring. How are you holding up? Your condition worries me to no end. I so wish that I could fly to your side and be with you. Please think only about getting better. Try not to push yourself too hard. Rest knowing that I spend every day thinking only of you and wishing I could see you. Lola. I'd like to write her back, but I don't even have the strength to pick up a pen. Ah, poor bugger. Poor bugger. Ah, hopefully streaming. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. How are you? How are you doing today? Are you well? Are you good? Are you well? You can get the ghosts here? Oh. Interest. I need to come over here with Gao at some point and spend like 8 hours just learning moves and shit. Going pretty well, yeah. Just did not get enough sleep last night. Yeah. Feel that. I fucking feel that. Oh yeah, I start to do this bollocks, don't I? Because we gotta show off that mode 7. I love SNES games. How's Final Fantasy 6 going? Such a classic, even though I haven't even really played it. It's amazing. It's amazing, and you should. Play all the Final Fantasies. They're all mostly good. There is, like, with the main numbered entries, there's 2 of the mainline Final Fantasy games that I'd say aren't great, and one which would have been really, really, really good had they actually bothered to finish it. Which is 15. But yeah, the only ones that I'd say aren't particularly great are 2 and 13. For various reasons. Both have reasons to like them, both have reasons to judge them as being absolutely terrible. Final Fantasy 6 is my favourite. I like Final Fantasy 6. Have you played Chrono Trigger? Yes! Yes, I have, and Chrono Trigger is on the list to be streamed at some point in the future. I don't know when. I don't know when, but I am definitely going to stream Chrono Trigger because I absolutely adore Chrono Trigger. I don't know how good the Steam version is though. I've heard mixed things about the Steam version of Chrono Trigger, but I am prepared to give it a go. And if I find that it's not very good, then we will turn to our old friend, the word I cannot say on Twitch. Apparently. Because Twitch don't like it when you emulate stuff. Which would be fair. But, you know, don't turn to just to emulation immediately. If you can get a game or whatever through actual proper means, proper legal means, then do that. And then if they don't like emulation, then how else can you do randomizers? Here's the thing with Twitch. I think it's more a matter of I don't know how it works. It's like they don't want you to do emulation, but at the same time they don't mind it when people stream very, very, very obviously emulated stuff. I think it's more a matter of like they don't want you like posting the links and stuff in chat. Because like I've played games via emulation. That's how I did Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Because the Pixel Remaster wasn't a thing. Back then. Oh, that strange old man lives in a little cabin near the Lethe. I helped deliver his son 13 years ago. It was a problem birth. The mother didn't survive and the man couldn't handle the loss. Went loony, he did. Thought his baby was some kind of monster and threw it out. Poor little thing never had a chance. I wonder who she could be talking about. Mystery. Oh. I mean, Paizo runs our emulators and they're a huge part of the speedrun community. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It's... Plus a lot of people use emulators for older games because it's just easier to capture the footage. And in some cases it's the only way to stream the footage. Like... And technically, yeah, if you play a game, if you play an old game on like one of the things on the SNES Classic or whatever, or like a PlayStation Classic on the PSN store, It's emulating it. It's not using the. It's not running through the actual hardware of the console. It's an emulator. So it's weird. It's a weird grey area when it comes to Twitch. Plus, you know, like Pokemon. Yeah. Any game where it's like it just runs, it plays an old game and stuff. 9 times out of 10, it's an emulator. And to your point, Joe, that's how people were able to like take the PlayStation 1 Classic and just put the entire PS1 library on it. Just through downloading ROMs onto it. Because it's very easy to hack. But, you know, they don't... It's weird. It's a really weird grey area when it comes to Twitch and streaming and stuff as to can you or can you not use emulators. I mean, the way I look at it, I only use an emulator if I have literally no other way of getting the game. If I have no other way of getting the game and, you know, being able to stream it for you guys, then I will emulate it. Or if, you know, I have the option between emulating it and running it through the Elgato, I'll emulate it. It sounds calling with Imperial troops. Gotta slip through without being seen. I would say rule of thumb is if you own it or have owned it, it's fine. It's literally, if it's literally impossible to get, it's fine. Oh yeah, like I'm not paying. Like if the only way that I'm able to get a hold of a game is like going on eBay and I have to spend like, I don't know, fucking like minimum 500 quid for like a PS1 game or whatever, I'll probably emulate it. Just like, I'm not even gonna deny that. Like, I'm not gonna spend that much money on a game that, one, I'm not even sure I will like, and two, when it's probably not very good. But yeah, that's my way of looking at it. Most of the time I'll only download a ROM of something if I want to do it on stream. Because that's just how I go, really. Because at the end of the day, if it leads to a better view experience for you guys, or it makes life easier for me, then, you know, I'll do it. Plus, you know, there's some games that, as you say, are literally impossible to get, where either they weren't released outside of Japan or wherever, so you have to turn to fan translated ROMs, or sometimes you just can't get them because not enough copies were printed. But someone was able to get hold of the ROM. Well, we're back here again. Back where we started. It's how most people first played Final Fantasy II, I believe. Yes. Yes. Well, Final Fantasy II less so. Because most people outside of Japan didn't realize Final Fantasy II was a thing until Final Fantasy VII came out, and Final Fantasy Origins followed not all that much longer after 7. Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 5 were the main ones that people used emulators for back in the day, I think. Games I mainly played on emulators when I was a kid were the old Pokemon games and Final Fantasy 5, to be honest. But yeah, if you didn't have access to Final Fantasy Origins, then yeah, most people played it on emulator. That is how I first played it. I'll freely admit that. Hell, I didn't finish Final Fantasy 2 until a year ago, when I did it on stream. Only classic Final Fantasy I've tried to play on several occasions. Final Fantasy 4. It's a pretty good one to start with, to be fair. When you say classic, Joe, where's the cutoff point for you when it comes to like classic? Like, what's the latest one that you consider to be a classic? Either they were too hard for my smooth brain or the ROM was crap. No, yeah, fair enough. I'd say get the Pixel remasters. Honestly, I'd say try the Pixel remasters. They're not the best versions. Because they are missing content from, say, the PS1, and I would if they were on console. Fair enough. I'm quite shocked they haven't announced at least a Switch port. But yeah, it is. They are missing. I don't go on my PC that much. Ah, fair enough. I mean, you can play them on your phone. That helps. Hey, it's better than the old phone versions. Oh, they were terrible. Especially Final Fantasy 6. Like 5 and 6, the old mobile versions of Final Fantasy 5 and 6 that were also on Steam, they were terrible. Absolutely terrible. But yeah, I'd say the best versions for most of them are either the Pixel Remaster, or if it exists... Oh, not even the... Well... I mean, I don't know what the modern situation for the Pixel Remasters is. Again, I've not looked. So, I don't know if people have modded... I'm sure there's a mod where it's like, it restores the cut content. That was... Well, it's not even cut content. It's just stuff that I added in later ports. I think Final Fantasy IV caught my attention because number 1, Dark Knight, duh. Number 2, best battle music, and because it was the first one that interested me. Okay, let's have a talk about the music. Right. Final Fantasy IV does have some very, very, very good music. Like Battle of Four Fiends, that's a good track. That's a good, like, major boss track. But it's topped by 5, 6, and 7. 6 just has, I think, maybe one of the best soundtracks in all of gaming. Definitely for the 16-bit generation. 7 is mid. See, I'd agree with you, but it has Aerith's theme and One Winged Angel and Genova and some other absolute bangers. I'm not even that big of a fan of One Winged Angel, to be honest. But 5... Here's the thing, 5 trumps anything on the Final Fantasy V soundtrack, trumps anything in Final Fantasy IV simply because of Battle on the Big Bridge. If Battle on the Big Bridge wasn't in Final Fantasy V, then I'd say, yeah, Final Fantasy IV is at least on par with that soundtrack. But 6 is just incredible. Like, the music in 6 is amazing. Like, Terra's theme, Dancing Mad, the fucking opera scene. Like, I can't wait to get to the opera scene. I made a fucking opera using fucking this fucking Super Nintendo sound chip. Just fucking magic as far as I'm concerned. Like, Nobuo Uematsu is a fucking mad genius with that fucking Super Nintendo sound chip. I can't wait, because, hey, fully orchestrated version. It's like the opera scene is the reason why I have not listened to any of this soundtrack. I listened to Battle on the Big Bridge from the Pixel Remaster of Final Fantasy V before we did that on stream. I listened to that because I have a weird obsession with Battle on the Big Bridge. It's not even a weird obsession, it's just a really fucking good song. But I've made an effort to avoid the actual full soundtrack of the Pixel Remaster of Final Fantasy VI because I just want to be able to experience it as it happens. I've not listened to the new version of the opera I hadn't listened to the new version of Terra's theme until we started playing. I've not listened to this version's version of the opera. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get to the opera scene. It's one of my favourite moments in all of gaming. Like, just the fact that it exists on a fucking Super Nintendo game. It's the reason I want a full remake of Final Fantasy VI. Because I want to see what they could do with it. Like, not even like this, where it's like remastered, somewhat remastered visuals and a fully orchestrated soundtrack. I want like a full-on Final Fantasy VII remake treatment. And yes, I know that they've changed some narrative stuff in the 7 remake. I'm very intrigued to see what actually they've changed when we get to it. Because again, I've not played that. I've not played 7 remake. I've been saving it for this. I have been saving it for when we eventually get to it. I have no idea when it'll be. It'll probably be after 15. I don't know. That's a long time away. That's like... Because I'm not planning on going straight into 7 after I finish this one. I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from the Final Fantasy games after finishing this one, because good lord. And I've got other stuff that I want to play. I need to go back to Pokemon. I need to go back and actually beat the randomized Nuzlocke of Emerald, since that did not go well last time. I need to go back. I need to go back and reface my demons, as it were, and actually beat the first gym. Oh, I know, I did beat the first gym. Yeah, because the first gym is Roxanne, isn't it? In Hoenn. Yeah, I lost to the third gym. To the guy who I keep wanting to call Wallace, but I know his name isn't actually Wallace, because that's the Elite Four champion guy, or whatever he is. No, yeah, he's champion in that mode, yeah. The electric guy in Hoenn, whatever his name is. Walder. I know his name's not Walder, but I don't actually remember what it is. I'm pretty sure his name begins with W. What is his name? Hoenn Electric Gym. Watson! See, I was right. I did start with a W. But yeah, I need to go back. I need to go back to Pokemon Emerald and actually beat Watson, since he absolutely wiped the floor with us last time. But it's not my fault. It was not my fault. The randomizer fucked me and gave me nothing but flying and water types. So I had no hope. Yes! I will admit, the hand on heart, I'll be the first one to fucking say it. Final Fantasy VII is overrated. It is. It's overrated. It's not as much as it used to be. Like, nowadays, most people agree that Final Fantasy VI is better than Final Fantasy VII. Well, I say most people. A lot of people. A lot of people will agree with me when I say Final Fantasy VI is better than Final Fantasy VII. And it is. You know what else is better than Final Fantasy VII? Final Fantasy IX. Of the PlayStation 1 trilogy, Final Fantasy IX is the best. That's a fact. It's not. Well, when I say it's not a fact that it's that it's the best of the trilogy, because there are issues with Final Fantasy IX, primarily in the character department, because Final Fantasy VII, the only characters that you could argue are not needed for that story are the two who literally are not needed for the story, with Vincent and Yuffie. Whereas 9 doesn't have that. When it comes to Final Fantasy IX, the only characters in the party you actually need for the story are Zidane, Garnet, Miko? Is that her name? The little girl. The little girl summoner. Eco, I think her name is. And Seymour. No, not his name's not Seymour. Seymour's in this. To answer your earlier question, I consider 1 through 6 as classics. 7 beyond I don't consider classics, as they can be played accessibly on modern consoles. Can you play any of the classic Final Fantasy games on a modern console? Not counting Steam. Then the Steam Deck. Bear with me. I want to just go on. I'm just going very quickly. Look on my Switch. Super Nintendo. Basically anything pre-PS1, they're all on the PlayStation Store except 13. You can skip 13. I swear you can play one of the Final Fantasy games on here. Maybe not. Maybe they are planning to put them on, to put the Pixel remasters on Switch then. And 11 for obvious reasons. I could have sworn that you could play the Final Fantasy games on, at least one of the Final Fantasy games on the Super Nintendo or Nintendo or the NES software thing on Switch. But I guess not. I know you could get them on the PS3 and PlayStation and PSP, because I first played Final Fantasy... I first played one of the old ones. Oh yeah, that was when I first... Oh yeah, you can get, yeah, you can get 8, 10, and 12 on Switch through the, for the remakes. And you can technically get 15, but it's the HD version of the Pocket version. It's because they did an HD remaster of Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. Oh. What have I... Oh, there you go.
You come to fix the door?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, got it. Lawnmower repairman, eh? Couldn't provide worse service. Grass 50 feet high out back. Herbal lip repairman. Fix that stove on the double. It'll be on your conscience when I freeze to death. And you must be... You're here to fix my bed. It's been creaking like old get out.
I repeat. All he says to Gao is about fixing the door. I'm sure I have to do something with him. Just finished Stormblood base game the other day. Haven't even started it yet. Haven't even started it. I'm still right at the beginning of the post stuff for Heaven's Ward. Because we do it all in order. We do not skip. We do not skip on anything. We want to do it all as it came out. Well, I say that. We haven't done it all as it came out because we did them massively out of order. Yeah, there's a lot of post Heaven's Ward. Yeah, I know. I know. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm probably not going to meet the goal I set myself of finishing Heaven's Ward, all post Heaven's Ward by the end of the year. I've come to terms with that. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm probably not going to finish Final Fantasy VI by the end of the year. I will probably finish Baldur's Gate. At least I called Alexander. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, fair. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. It's rough, it's a really long game here, but that's fine. I mean, you know, I gave myself that task with, like, the intention of, okay, well, at least that way I go into next year with a completely clean slate. With the exception of Final Fantasy 14, because Final Fantasy 14 I probably will never finish. I'll probably never be up to date with Final Fantasy 14, and I'm fine with that. Because I love that game. But I wanted to be done with Final Fantasy 6 and what the fuck? Just okay. Hello. And Baldur's Gate, just so that way I could go into the new year with, you know, new stuff. But my goal is to at least have Baldur's Gate done. Why do you want to be done with Final Fantasy? I don't. However, as I've said previously, I am taking a break from the Final Fantasy stuff, with the exception of Final Fantasy 14. After finish Final Fantasy, after finishing Final Fantasy 6, just because there has not, while I've been streaming, since I first started streaming Final Fantasy 1, there's not been a point where I've not been streaming a Final Fantasy game. And there's a lot before I finish the goal of I've streamed every Final Fantasy game. There's a lot of them. There's a lot more that I need to do. So I need to do other stuff, you know? I've got other things on my list I want to do. Like Discworld. And Pokemon. Yeah, I wanna do Pokemon Emerald. I wanna go back to Pokemon Emerald and actually get further than the third fucking gym. Because okay, right, when it comes to beating a Nuzlocke of Heart Gold Soul Silver, do we have to beat Red? I guess, technically. But, I mean, most Nuzlockes, it's like, you just have to get into the Hall of Fame. And post-game is optional. Yes. I mean, personally, I consider Soul Silver to be a loss. I consider Soul Silver to have been lost at the final hurdle there. I did everything else. I did all the legendaries that I could. I admittedly, doing all the legendaries might have been a mistake, because that might have been what caused us to lose to Red, because we lost a number of teammates in our legendary hunting through unlucky crits and the like. But you know, it is what it is. I consider that I'd consider Steven the final hurdle in Emerald. Fair. Like, I see both arguments. I see both arguments where it's like, okay, yeah, you lost in the post game, but you still beat the Elite Four, so technically you win. If you catch my drift. You set your own goals. Oh yeah, like I went in to Pokemon Soul Silver with that Nuzlocke and said, okay, we do it all. We do the Elite Four and we beat Red. We didn't, but it is what it is. What was I on about? Oh yeah. So, like, Fire Red I won. I won Fire Red because, you know, I did say we will do Mewtwo as well, but with the emulator I used, I literally couldn't beat Mewtwo because I didn't have any way of actually in-game saving, and so the earliest, so you know, the latest point that I could save was during the credits. I couldn't do a save after beating the Elite Four and going off and finding Mewtwo. So I said, well, so retroactively I said, okay, so Mewtwo's a no-go on this emulator. So challenge is just beat the Elite Four. Post game does not matter. Meanwhile, in Soul Silver, I said, I can do it all. We can do post game. So we're going to do post game. And I lost to Red. So, but again, it's post game. So some people would classify it as being, I think most people would classify it as being a loss, considering how easy Johto is in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I think most people would consider like the actual challenge, like I think most people consider Johto to be like the warm-up round for the actual Nuzlocke, which is Kanto. And even then, Kanto's not all that difficult. The problem is with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it's very difficult to grind all the way up to be a level that you actually feasibly can take on Red. Because the levels in it, especially in Kanto, are so fucking out of whack. It's kind of ridiculous. Because you go from Lance, who's, I think Lance's highest Dragonite is like, what, level 40 odd? Or something like that. It's not particularly high. And you go from that to, wait, Route North? Where? Oh, it just comes out of the old man's house. Don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to go. I'm so confused. I don't know where I'm meant to go. My brain. We have made absolutely zero progress this stream. We have gone back and forth about 3 times. We have not made any progress at all this entire stream. We've been going for an hour and a half. There has been no progress at all. Oh God. Except for level grinding. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Just me just rambling on about Star Wars and Final Fantasy. I mean, it's all relevant. It's all relevant because Star Wars is very relevant to Final Fantasy because, you know, Biggs and Wedge are a thing because of Star Wars. And also the Final Fantasy cameo that's in Star Wars with Sid. Because Because Sid... There is a Sid in Star Wars. It's canon. It's just... It was done as a nod back after they included Biggs and Wedge in Final Fantasy VI and every other game on afterwards. In Star Wars Episode 1. But is there a Jesse? I think Jesse is only a thing in 7, 14 and maybe 11. Probably 11. Oh wait, no, yeah, there is a Jesse in Star Wars. One of the clones. Yeah, one of the clone troopers is called Jesse in Clone Wars. Have they streaming? Hey, thank you for your luck. I hope you enjoy, my friend. Enjoy your luck. Yeah, there is. Yeah, one of the clone troopers. One of the main clones in Clone Wars is called Jesse. Oh my God! Is that another Star Wars? Is that another Final Fantasy reference? The fact that that clone is called Jesse. Has that been confirmed? Did we just stumble upon something accidentally? Hang on, Jesse, Clone Wars. C25597, codename Jesse. Is a member of the 501st Legion during the Clone Wars. Yeah, because he dies in the after Order 66. Wikipedia does not say. From what I can tell. Hang on. Clone Wars Jesse. FF reference. There's a wiki dedicated to all the different clone troopers. That's ridiculous. What the fuck? Yeah, no, it doesn't say. Yeah, no, it doesn't say. So I'm assuming I'm assuming because there is no, like, straight up yes. I got stuck in Adland for a bit. You haven't missed anything. You haven't missed anything. You just missed me looking through Google. But yeah, so from the looks of it, it's if it is a reference, it's unintentional. From what I can see, I don't know. It might be an intentional reference, or it's just a coincidence. Who knows? I choose to think that it is intentional. Oh, you also missed me sort of spoiling season 7 of Clone Wars. Oh shit! Forgot about that. I thought I'd already picked that up. Right. Let's fix our party. There we go. I wish I could take you with me, Cyan, but I need Celeste for the healing. And also, I feel like you should stay here because you're kind of badass. You're too badass for this world, Cyan. I won't lock in the party because speed. Yeah, I like Clone Wars. Honestly, if you haven't watched Clone Wars, watch Clone Wars. It's really good. It's the only good thing about the prequels. Which also has like a bleeding effect to other shows like Mandalorian. Because it made Ahsoka a thing. It made Maul an actual, worthwhile character. And not just, oh look, he's got an interesting lightsaber, and he's got spikes, and he has a semi-decent fight scene. It's like, yeah, the fight scene in episode 1, The Duel of Fates, is really, really, really good. It's such a shame that when you look at it as just episode 1 on its own, I mean, even when you look at it throughout the entire saga, it's not an interesting fight from a narrative point of view, because you have Obi-Wan, who, if you take Obi-Wan just on face value from episode 1, he's not all that interesting. And if you look at him from the perspective of when episode 1 came out, you already had the original trilogy. Well, Obi-Wan doesn't die here, so there's no stake there. Or you've got Qui-Gon, who is essentially the main character of episode 1. He's the closest thing episode 1 has to a main character. He's not all that interesting. He's interesting when you lead up on it, like his lore and backstory and stuff. Like, then Qui-Gon is cool and interesting. And it's a tragedy the fact that he dies. But I don't care about that. I don't care if this character's really cool in the book. It's like, well, I'm not reading the book, am I? And no offense, but like when I first watched episode 1, yeah, I thought it was cool. But I never really like felt interested enough to read up on the Darth Maul that existed in Legends canon. I knew he came back. I knew he came back from the dead and stuff with robot legs and shit. But I just didn't care because I was like, oh, well, he's a nothing character. Like, what could possibly be interesting about him? However, Darth Maul from Clone Wars, on the other hand, Darth Maul from Clone Wars, who I consider to be a completely different character because he's an actual character and he's a fucking Shakespeare villain and he's amazing and he is maybe the best villain in all of Star Wars. Maybe? I don't know. Plus, like, Clone Wars gave us some of the best villains in all of Star Wars. It made Darth Maul interesting, as I said. It did what they should have done with, it followed up on that potential plot line for Boba that just got dropped. With him, like, trying to kill Mace Windu. As he probably would. And then it gave him a story arc where, well, no, it didn't. It didn't. This story arc was cut. But the original plan for Boba Fett in Clone Wars was for him to go under the wing of Cad Bane, who comes from Clone Wars. And is the best bounty hunter character in all of Star Wars. Because Jango Fett's not all that interesting. Boba Fett is... I like what they've done with Boba Fett in Book of Boba Fett because, again, they've made him an actual character. Which is more than he was in the original trilogy. I never really got the love for Boba Fett in the original, with the original trilogy. Like, even when I was a kid, I was like, why do people think this guy's... Why do people think this guy's really cool? Like, he doesn't do anything. Like, I had that thought when I was a kid. So, imagine how I feel as an adult. But they've made him cool. They've made him, actually kind of interesting with Book of Boba Fett. I know a lot of people don't like Book of Boba Fett because, he's not the ruthless bounty hunter it is in the book. It's like, okay, we've, like, every other bounty hunter character in Star Wars, like, all of them are like that. And also, there's the small glaring issue that's kind of what Mando is. At least in season 1. At the beginning of season 1 anyway. you know, he's like Boba Fett is. He's more nuanced than he is in the books. Hey, you can have your stoic badass characters and stuff like that, but they're not very interesting to watch an entire series about. They're cool side characters and stuff, which is what Boba Fett is in The Mandalorian. I mean, well, my issue with Book of Boba Fett, I have issues with Book of Boba Fett, but they're mostly from the, like, they have nothing to do with the way Boba Fett is handled. For the most part. Like, from a character point of view, I have no issue with how Boba Fett is handled in the Book of Boba Fett. My issue is the fact he gets fucking sidelined and is missing from, and there's 2 whole episodes where Boba Fett doesn't even show up in his own show because all of a sudden we're in Mandalorian season 2.5. Also the fact that people were like, oh, the fucking swoop bike group, the fucking Power Ranger motorcycle gang that Boba Fett hires. That doesn't fit with Star Wars. Yes, it does. Star Wars is stupid. Like, there's a lot of stupid shit in Star Wars. And the fucking Skittle Squad is not even, like, that's not even the stupidest thing about it. I do kind of wish that we had more Cad Bane in it, because Cad Bane is cool. Cad Bane is the best bounty hunter character. He's the best bounty hunter. Like, of all the Star Wars characters that are actual characters, Cad Bane's the best. Like, he's just fucking Clint Eastwood. But that's not even me reading into stuff. That's like, he is Clint Eastwood. That's how he was written. He's even voiced to sound like Clint Eastwood. Part of me was kind of hoping that when they would bring Cad Bane to live action, that, well, if they ever did, which they eventually did, part of me kind of hoped that they would actually get Clint Eastwood to play him. Which I know was a pipe dream, but I was a child. So I was very I was happy that he actually sounded like he does in the Clone Wars, but I was kind of disappointed that I wasn't Clint Eastwood. That would have been funny. Well, it might have been distracting, maybe. Well, would people have been able to tell? But, you know, it's like, I know what the issue of having Cad Bane show up in it is, as the fact that he comes kind of out of nowhere. And the only reason why Cad Bane is in that show is to do what would have been his final storyline in Clone Wars, which would have been him taking Boba under his wing, training him to become the Boba Fett that we see in episodes 5 and 6, and then Boba and him having a falling out and a duel on Tatooine, and Boba killing him and him giving Boba the ding in the helmet. Like, that was the plan with Cad Bane. It just never happened because Clone Wars got cancelled because Disney. But I'm glad we got live action Cad Bane. I'm very glad we got live action Cad Bane. I just wish that he didn't come right the hell out of nowhere. And it's cool for nerds like me who, you know, watch the Clone Wars and are like, oh my god, it's Cad Bane, holy shit. But not everyone who watches Mandalorian watches the Clone Wars. Let's be honest. Like, there was also, I'm kind of worried about Mandalorian Season 3. Not gonna lie, because what I liked about Mandalorian Season 1, I'm worried that's kind of gotten lost. And I get that they're like doing their own like Star Wars show cinematic universe kind of thing, where it's all gonna come together in the inevitable big event that is going to be Grand Admiral Thrawn. And don't get me wrong, I want to see live action Grand Admiral Thrawn. But at the same time, I liked how Mandalorian Season 1, it was just like the only real link to, you know, the larger Star Wars trilogy, saga was, yeah, the fact that Grogu was a child of Yoda's species, and there was the hint of Boba Fett in it, and they've retroactively tied stuff into the larger, you know, narrative of Star Wars, with Fennec Shand showing up in Bad Batch. By the way, how old is Fennec Shand supposed to be? Because, like, isn't Bad Batch set like it's set when Luke's a baby. So it's at bare minimum like 20 odd years before Mandalorian. And even then, there's like, what? How many years is it between Mandalorian and... Sorry, between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian? It's like... Because there's some manner of time gap. It's a couple years. So how old is Fennec Shand? Because she's an adult in Bad Batch. And Bad Batch is set like, Bad Batch is... Season 1 of Bad Batch is... starts about halfway through episode 3 with Order 66. And then... goes on to, like... somewhere from a couple months to a year after. If that. Like, it could even be a couple of weeks. Like, Fennec Shand is old by the time Book of Boba Fett happens. Right? Because, again, it's not like she's a kid during the Clone Wars. Like, she's older than Boba Fett. she's definitely older than Boba Fett. And Boba Fett's basically an old man by the time Book of Boba Fett comes around. On the timeline. Like, hang on. Fennec Shand age. Here we go. Okay, so she's like bare minimum late 40s. Yeah, because she's like late 20s or so. She's like mid to late 20s. Because she's not a teenager. She's like not even like a late teen in the Bad Batch. She's a fucking adult in that show. And like she's mid to late 20s at minimum. I mean, it's difficult to tell because it's animation, but she's... But my point is, she's definitely older than Boba Fett. Oh, Fennec Shand, she's a character in Star Wars. She's a character in Mandalorian. She's played by Ming-Na Wen. She's really fucking cool. You'll like her. You'll like her when we watch it. Yeah, she also shows up in some of the animated stuff. I'm just like talking about that fact and the fact that she's old as fuck by the time the Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian happens. So if she's still alive by the time the sequel trilogy happens, she's older than Luke. She's a lot older than Luke, actually. She's probably dead by the time the sequels happen. Like, just talking age-wise. Let alone if she fucking ends up in a ditch somewhere on Tatooine. Which, you know, is a possibility. Because look, who could die when they eventually do Grand Admiral Thrawn? Just because someone's gonna get killed off when Thrawn comes in. As like, yeah, fuck you, I'm here now. This well-loved character. Dead. They're not gonna. It's not gonna be Fennec. It won't be Fennec because number one, Asian representation. Number two, I was gonna say, well, if she's like only female character, she's not. She's not the only female character. She's the only real female character in Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, there's Ahsoka. There's Bo-Katan. Oh, there's the fucking garage lady in Mandalorian, who's also awesome, by the way. It'll probably be her. Because it won't be Grogu. Like, they're not going to have Grand Admiral Thrawn just yeet Grogu. Just... Part of me kind of hopes they do. I know they won't. And also, part of me doesn't hope they do because I don't want anything bad to happen to Grogu. But at the same time, it would be really fucking funny. If they're just like, yeah, well, this bit of merchandise has served its course. What can we do about what can we do with Grogu? Well, we can have Grand Admiral Thrawn just yeet him down a flight of stairs. Be very funny, but it won't happen. Oh, I tell you who he'd probably kill off. Actually, if he's not already dead by then, Gideon. It'll be Grand Moff Gideon. That's who will get offed by the arrival of Thrawn. So I mean, Thrawn is coming. Like they've fucking confirmed it. They said in Mandalorian, you know, Ahsoka is looking for Ezra. So, you know, with the end of Rebels, you find Ezra. You find Grand Admiral Thrawn. And you can't bring Ezra back without also bringing back Thrawn. And I'm not saying he should be played by Benedict Cumberbatch. But Benedict Cumberbatch does look an awful lot like Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't think who else could be Grand Admiral Thrawn. Although, having said that, they're not shy about casting people for live action versions of animated characters who don't necessarily look like the animated characters or the characters in the books. With the cameo from Yularen that happened in Andor, where if it weren't for the mustache, it'd just be like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, it's the mustache and the fact that he works for the what's it called, the ISB or something. That kind of is like, oh, it's Yularen. Because I don't think he ever actually says. I don't think there's ever actually a point in the show where it's like, yes, this is whatever fucking rank he is at that point. Former Republic Admiral Yularen. And Andor was kind of the only show he could show up in because he's fucking dead by the end of episode 4 because he dies on the Death Star. That is confirmed. That is canon. Because it's either in one of the comic books or in one of the books or something. They just confirmed that the old dude who's in Tarkin's little like command group, in his little command chamber, so on the Death Star, that is confirmed. It is Yularen. But yeah, so it's a shame. It's a shame that But I mean, Yularen could show up in other stuff. You know, they're doing other stuff set in that time period. He'll probably show up in Bad Batch Season 2. It really wouldn't surprise me if we get a scene where we see like Yularen go from the Navy to the R&D department that he's a part of during Rebels, along with Callus and the like. I forget what the name of that group is. But he's not the head of it. He's like, but he is pretty high ranking in it because he's a former admiral. So of course he is. He was the fucking admiral who served under Anakin in the Clone Wars. So obviously Darth Vader will be like him. He's somewhat decent. Anywho, let's find someone to raid. Because that's enough from me. I've talked enough. I've rambled. We made absolutely fuck all progress in the game tonight. Outside of leveling. But, you know, this is fun. I've just ranted about Star Wars for the last 2 hours. I like Star Wars. As you can probably tell. You know, the whole conversation topic of the stream for the last 2 hours started because I noticed I was wearing a Star Wars t-shirt. I didn't even do it intentionally. I just grabbed it. Was on the top of my drawer. I just grabbed it out of my drawer because it was on the top. But yes. So I will be back tomorrow. I'm planning on doing a stream in the afternoon at some point tomorrow. I am intending for it to be Baldur's Gate, though I might change my mind and do Final Fantasy instead. I don't know. We haven't decided yet. So watch this back. I will post on the Instagram and stuff tomorrow morning at some point saying what it will actually be as well as the actual start time, because I don't know when it will start. It will start when at some point after I wake up, basically. And then after that, more Final Fantasy 6 tomorrow evening. And yes, I might do another stream on Sunday. Maybe. I don't know. Haven't decided. We'll see how I feel. But that will be in the evening. That'll be Sunday evening. And that will basically be whichever one I don't stream tomorrow afternoon. I have a Final Fantasy 14 or Baldur's Gate. Not Final Fantasy 6. Much I love Final Fantasy 6. I want to dedicate. I kind of want to dedicate a long stream to Baldur's Gate to get through as much of it as possible. I also want to dedicate a long stream to Final Fantasy 14 again because I like Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, so we are going to be raiding. We are going to raid Terrazin because he's live. He's doing some more Danganronpa. Like Danganronpa. That's something I should do. I should do some visual novels. Maybe I'll do some visual novels in the future. I do kind of want to do Ace Attorney at some point. I don't know. There's a lot of games on my list. That I want to stream. How would you guys feel if I had my hair like this? Just permanently, just like a little tuft at the front. I don't know, I think it suits me. But yes, so I will be back tomorrow. At some point. I really have to. I don't know. I might not stream in the afternoon tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. See how I feel. Anything else I need to do tomorrow? No. No. Aside from stuff around the house. No. No. Hello, Bob Ross. Floating around my face. I see you. I see you, Bob Ross. Without my glasses, I see Bob Ross. But yes. So, anyway, I need to go get some food. Cause I've had some cereal and some chocolate. Lots of Bob Rosses. Ah. That was a weird thing I just did. Anywho. Right, I'm going to go. Because as I said, I need food. Because I'm not eating basically anything today. I've had cereal and a bar of chocolate. And about 8 cups of tea. That's all I've had today. Oh, and a glass of Pepsi that I drank out of the games. Anywho, I'm gonna go sort out my food. I'm gonna sort out my food. I will hang out in Chirazan's chat for a bit while I have my food. But aside from that, it's been a long week. It's been a very long week. It is only Wednesday. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I've rambled enough today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Yay! Hey, catch you all later, guys. Catch you all later. Give Chirazan some love. Give Chirazan some love. Enjoy Danganronpa. You guys are in for an absolute fucking treat. Because if you guys haven't played Danganronpa, Danganronpa is amazing. Love Danganronpa. Love a bit of Danganronpa. So yes. Have a lovely evening, guys. Have a lovely day. A lovely afternoon. A lovely afternoon. I've already said afternoon. A lovely morning. A lovely day. A lovely lunchtime. A lovely afternoon. A lovely night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Ta-ta.